There we go, fish.
You know what I love about bear hunting is you get to sit in a tree or some cases a ground blind and you just get to watch just a beautiful animal. And you know, bears are just so strong. They're fast when they need to be. They're just so powerful. And some of these big boars, you know, they're the king of the woods. They're not scared of nothing. I mean, they're not scared of wolves. They're not scared of, you know, they have no natural predators. Some of them can get pretty bold. They can get pretty aggressive at times. They're just a powerful animal. And just to watch that animal in its natural environment is just a really, really cool hunting experience.
Passion for the Hunt is brought to you by Shields, Crestliner Boats, STYRKA, North Dakota Tourism, Federal Premium Ammunition, Matthews Archery, Travel Manitoba, and Primo's Hunting.
So here at Wekusko Falls Lodge, our hunting area for our black bears is about 1,200 square miles. And we cover every part of that with road access, ATV access, as well as boating access. And we have two-man ladder stands at almost every one of the baits. Some of them are tripods. We also have ground cages for someone who wants something more of adrenaline or someone who's elderly or maybe physically handicapped. So we have a lot of different options and we have a lot of bears to go with it. So up here we're in the Canadian Shield and it's dense forest and you're not going to get a shot further than 30 yards if you're lucky if you're walking through the forest. So we have to bait here, and the benefits of that is not only do we get bears to come to the hunter so we can actually get an ethical shot, is we're able to study the animals and make sure that it's a quality mature boar. We try to educate all our hunters and discourage shooting sows. We try to manage what we have for resident bears here as well as we can. And it's not always up to us, but it's up to the hunter to decide whether or not that's a bear that they want to take or a bear that we'd like them to take. So if we didn't have the baits here, that you just won't see a bear. It's as plain as that. So basically, spot and stalk just isn't an option where we are here. You're just not going to see a bear and you aren't going to get a harvest out of it.
So we're on our way to what we call the rail bed run. There's 7 baits here out of our approximately 45 baits. Each bait we put oats and oil, chocolate syrup, and cake icing. The bears seem to really enjoy the sweets. And then when we're taking our hunters in, we bring beaver, and they seem to go crazy for that. So we're about to go into this bait here. We're gonna take about 150 pounds of oats with us, full cake icing, which is about 20 pounds of cake icing, and then about 6 pounds of chocolate syrup. And it's about a 3-kilometer ride into the bait. We're going to put our oats and oil in the barrel. Cake icing on the trees. Hopefully it's been hit so we can top her up, check if there's any big bears on the camera. Hopefully there's a couple so we can bring some hunters in here this evening and see if we can get a few.
Well, when we start baiting, we actually start baiting as soon as the snow's gone, and the reason for that is we might get a bunch of bears that aren't actually mature boars. They could be sows, and we keep those sows at those baits for that rut. So we never let a bait go dry, waiting for that day. If one of those sows goes into heat and a hunter's there, it is mayhem. You're gonna have bears crawling all over the place. It's gonna look like ants. And as fast as that sow goes into heat, she can go out of heat and that bait can go silent. So it's key to keep as many of those sows on those baits as possible, and that gives the hunter just that much more of an opportunity at that bear. So with our hunting trips, we have fishing right at our doorstep, and it's something that we really promote our hunters to do. We have such long evenings here that you're sitting sometimes till 11 o'clock and shooting late. So you have a lot of time in the morning for yourself, and we promote guys going down and catching some walleye or some pike, and you don't even have to go far. We have great walleye fishing literally at the launch on Wekusko Lake, and so you don't have to spend a lot of time to do it, and it's not going to burn your whole day. It's just something that breaks up the day so you can catch a whole bunch of fish in the morning, and then you can go sit and watch all the bears in the evening.
Good fish.
Oh, double header.
You got one too?
Yeah.
All right. They're definitely too big to lift over the side of the boat.
When standing down, hasn't done any side runs yet.
I'll net mine here.
Yeah, good, nice walleye on here, Jay.
All right. Whoa. Do a double scoop here. All right, come over here.
Okay.
Oh yeah, look at this.
Nothing like double header 3-4 pound walleyes, hey?
Isn't that something? That is cool. These fish are just gorgeous too. That's the thing, there's a lot of places to hunt bears, a lot of great places to hunt bears up here, but what I love about this is just great fishing too. And so, you hunt bears in the evenings, the days are long. You come out here during the day, even if you just kill 3 or 4 hours, just catch a bunch of walleyes like that.
Yeah.
Great.
Awesome.
Boy, isn't that something?
A lot of fun. So one of the unique features about being able to fish up here is that we don't have to go very far for great pike and walleye fishing. We got spots right below the falls here or just down the road at Berry Creek. And it's literally within a couple minutes you're fishing. And so you don't have that long boat ride. Sometimes you might only want to fish a couple hours in the morning. You just jump in the boat, you're there, start fishing, and then you're back in time for lunch and time to get back, hit the stand again. Oh, nice, there you go. Just like that, another Walter.
They are
Down
so
on the back
strong.
side. Yeah, they are. It's a little better fish.
Yeah. Try to just hand land them. There.
Nice work, Jay.
Yeah, beautiful. You get up into northern Manitoba here and there's just so much crown land. I mean, it's just endless. And so how much acreage, what total area do you guys have to run? Because you guys have bear baits all over.
Yeah, we do, Jason. It actually takes us 5 days in order to do all of our baits, in order to bait everything correctly. So it's actually 1,200 square miles is about what we have. And we actually have access to be able to get to every one of those, every corner basically. So either with highway or logging roads or lake travel, we're able to get to every corner of our allocation. And that way we're able to also keep our baits separated with distance so that you don't have bears piggybacking the same baits. And that just helps with success with harvesting those animals.
How many baits do you run, Brian?
On average, we run between 42 to 45 baits, depending on the year. Some of it with low water or high water means we can't get into some of the baits. And so on average, it's just over 40.
That's a lot of work.
On an average year, we go through 400 bushels of oats. So that's about 12,000 pounds of oats. We go through about 250 gallons of cooking oil, and I go through about 6,000 pounds of cake icing, butter icing, and 60, there we go, fish. It's about 60, 65 beavers, and we cut those up into 4. So when you run that many baits, it feels like pretty decent walleye.
Yeah.
When you run that many baits,
look at that.
you know, you just got to have a lot of bait if you're going to do it right. Another beautiful golden walleye. Barbless pops out nice and easy. I'll get you again if you're gonna splash me.
How many bear hunters do you run each spring?
You know, we have 26 tags over for our whole allocation, but we try to run 24. We just found as soon as we get more than 24, so 3 groups of 8, we try to correlate it with fishing season, so of course you can do both then. And we just run 3 consecutive weeks, 8 hunters per week. And that just, you know, it helps with pickup, with efficiency for us keeping up with our baits. It just seemed, as soon as we got more than that, the flow just wasn't quite there. And we want everybody's hunt. You know, we put a lot of time, effort, and pride into how we run our camp, and so we just found that's our magic number.
Feels like a better fish here.
Right on that hump, eh?
Yeah, oh yeah, nice walleye,
yeah,
look at that. Oh yeah, this is a nice fish here. Look at that.
Yeah, that is a solid IJ.
Spawned out female. Look at that. Oh,
Nice.
wow. Man, that is cool.
Nice
Gorgeous.
fish.
Gorgeous. Get her in the water. Yeah, look at that. You know, these fish probably got spawned maybe a week or 2 ago at the most. They're kind of right out of the post spawn. You see the trees are just starting to bud. It's middle to the end of May, but it is early spring here in the North Country. Well, we're up in northern Manitoba here out of Wekusko Falls, and you know, we've done some ice fishing shows, some fishing shows up here before, but we wanted to come up here bear hunting. They got some really nice bears up in this country. There's some color phases.
So where we took Jason was one of our really far back in baits. What we ended up doing is we have a back way to get into that, and that's taking the boat across Wekusko Lake, and that's only when our ice is actually off in time. So we took the boat, parked her against shore, and we walked up the trail in the back way. So we're going to try outsmarting some bears. That's why we brought the boat. Usually we quad in about 4 miles into this bait. We just baited it up 2 days ago, and so we don't like to change our routine. We usually bait every 5 days. So what we're doing is we're going to get on the back trail. It's an old mining road, and we're just going to walk back in about 3/4 of a mile into that bait and get in there quiet, set up a little bit more icing, and see if we can't find ourselves a big old bruin. What's funny is down this road, now the guides have been saying they've been seeing tons of small bear tracks, but on the cameras there's no small bears going into the baits at all, so these bears are pretty dominant on these baits. We've got a ladder stand about 500 yards in front of us here down the trail, so we're just taking a little break here so we don't get sweated up and head in, but on the way in here we see moose tracks, wolf tracks, bear tracks, so wind's laying down, should be a nice night for sitting. So when we pick spots, you know, there's only certain places because we are in the Precambrian Shield, and there's only certain roads and different access points. If you had to try cutting a trail through all this bush and go through muskeg, you'd never get anywhere. So this is just a really old, like from the 50s, this road was built to go up to the old gold mine as a winter road. And the bears just seem to love it. You know, there's lots of green grass growing on it, and it's just an easy travel path for them, and it's adjacent to the lake, so they get the best of both worlds. They got green stuff to feed on. The road seems like it's not remote, but we're in the middle of nowhere. Yeah. There's a big bear right on the barrel. those poplars right now. He's gonna walk in. We pushed another bear off. I heard it run off this way. Let's sneak up and see if he's dark face. So we'll just do like a Dakota mule deer sneak, because we use these poplars right in our way, because he feels like he's dominant right now. He should have heard us clanging. So if he's not even scared, because now don't remember he said that boar, when he heard the sow, it spooked hard, so he should have spooked from us. So that wasn't blackface, that was a brown muzzle one. That's a solid bear though. That's a sow though, right? No, that's a boar with a sow. That's a small sow.
You know it's going to be a good night when you're walking out to the stand and there's bears when you get there. And so when we walked into that stand, you know, we bumped a couple of bears and they ran off into the woods. You know, we got situated and we didn't sit there very long before, you know, we were seeing bears moving around. It almost seemed like they were just circling the perimeter, and then when they felt like the coast was clear, they slid in. What fascinates me about bears, you have this huge animal that, you know, is very powerful, very strong, but they're also very agile and graceful in the sense that these bears can sneak in and not make a sound. I mean, you'll be just staring ahead and look over and just see some black moving through the trees, and they can move through the forest like ghosts. They can be so quiet, so stealthy. Just the pads on their feet, it's just amazing how they can just sneak in on you. Good, 2 bears.
So we knew that there was for sure about 4 or 5 different bears at that bait on camera. But even as we snuck in, I saw that there was actually fresh bear scat there that had no oats in it. And so that means that's a fresh bear. You kind of use the camera as a reference, but we knew that if we eventually there's going to be the bear that Jason would want on that bait. What I love about bear hunting is just seeing the personalities of bears. You know, everyone is unique in itself. They all act different, and you know, you'll get one that's real timid and one that just doesn't care. It's special just to see that interaction between the bears and yourself. It's something that, unless you're sitting there at the bait site, you'd have no idea. You really wouldn't have any idea of what they can actually are capable of. And they are actually an extremely smart animal, and not enough credit's given to them.
You know, it's just fun to watch how bears interact with each other, and it seems like no matter how big of a bear you have in front of you, there's always a bigger bear somewhere in the woods. And so you'll have just a magnificent boar on the bait site, and then that bear will perk up and look off in the distance or look over its shoulder and just freeze up, and you just know that there's another bear coming in. That's fun to watch. It gets your heart pumping. It's exciting when you have a pretty good sized bear that's scared of a bigger bear that's off in the woods yet that you can't see. Here comes a bigger bear. Wow, that was a big bear. Oh. Wow. Wow. Yes. called Brian on the radio as we've been waiting here. We could see a couple of bears. It might have been bears from earlier, but they're just circling the perimeter here in these trees. Don't even dare get out of the stand here.
Blood there. Blood there. Oh, did he turn? There he is. Gorgeous bear.
Yeah, right there. Wow. Great bear.
Oh, he got a thick hide. Might weigh a little heavier than I think. You know, you get long-haired bears and short-haired. He's actually pretty short hair. We'll get hairs that's like, you know, 3-4 inches long. He's thick, couple inches. Not a rub on him anywhere.
Just a beautiful, beautiful.
Man, great reputation of northern Manitoba.
Yeah. Well, I couldn't be happier. What a fun sit.
Yeah.
I mean, this isn't easy work. I mean, there's a lot of work that goes into this as far as just getting back into this country, and you know, just all the bears that we saw tonight were just incredible.
Yeah.
Just see as many bears as we did tonight. That's something I'll remember the rest of my life.
Awesome.
Thank you, sir.
Great shot again, Jason. You know, I like track dogs like this, where we're not on our hands and knees and going for a ways. These ones are nice.
You know, we're so fortunate. We get to travel to so many different great areas. You know, we meet great people wherever we go. There's just so many different places to hunt in this world. There's so many opportunities, and you know, really never enough time. You know, if you try to narrow down those opportunities and try to pick a handful of opportunities that are really special and just top shelf, where you're involved with people that do everything right, Wekusko Falls Lodge would be one of those places. And obviously, you have great hunting, you have great fishing. It's in a great area, but that's just part of it. You know, what you also have is great people that work really hard and care about your experience. You know, that's what separates this place from so many different places, is that these people have done a lot of work before you ever get here.